Okay, yesterday in class we worked on finding the slope of graphs, ordered pairs, and equations. There were just 3 that we didn't get to that I really wanted you to see how to do. So find this one. I told you to put it in the front of your binder. Whenever you find it, turn over to the back. The first one we're going to do is number 20. So take notes like normal. Write everything that I write. Okay, so we were trying to find the slope. If you're looking at the one right above it, remember how this was in the order of y equals mx plus b, and m stands for slope. So we were always looking for, in the equations, the number that was right in front of the x to find the slope. Well, this one doesn't go y equals mx plus b, so I cannot just take the number that's in front of the x. It's different. But I want you to draw a small x and y axis, like a little coordinate grid. And then I want you to kind of estimate where the x value of 1 would be. So I know this is my x-axis, the horizontal one. And to get to a positive 1, I would be moving to the right. So just put a little notch. Now, it doesn't give me a slope because this is going to be a vertical line that is passing through the x value of 1. So anytime that you have a vertical line and the equation starts with just x equals and you just have a number, that slope is called undefined. I did not mean to put a big space right there. Okay, so number 20, the slope is undefined. Move down to number 25, okay? Right now, this does not flow in the order of y equals mx plus b, but I want you to write that y right above it and then the rest of the equation. So see how we have the equal sign lined up and the y is on the correct side of the equation, but this x term over here should be on the other side, so it should be behind equals. So I need to move it over there. So you have to think about, on this side of the equation, what would make a 2x go away? Well, since it's positive, I hope that you remember, you would need a negative 2x to make it go away. So I'm doing that step of a minus 2x on both sides of the equation. Make sure you're writing it on your paper. A positive and a negative cancel each other out. So in this equation that they gave me on 25, I still have 3y on this side. So I just brought him down. I'm bringing down my equals. Now on this side of the equation, I have these 2 different terms. And if I'm looking at my goal up here, I want the x term to happen first. So write negative 2x. This originally is just a positive 9, so I'm writing plus 9. I kind of took that 9 and I scooted it to the back of the equation. So now at least it looks a lot more like the goal. I want it to be in slope-intercept form. The y is on the correct side of equals. The x is on the correct side. The only thing that I need to fix now is it says 3y. Well, in my goal, it just says y equals. So I do not want this 3 to be a coefficient on my y. Remember, whenever there's no sign, what operation is it? They are multiplying. So, since they are multiplying, I have to do the inverse operation of divide by 3. Now, on this side, draw a long bar and put a 3 on the bottom so I can show you how this is going to work. 3 divided by 3 is just 1. So I just have that 1y.
I need Katie Hall to the office, please. Katie Hall to the office.
I'm going to take this term, negative 2, and put it over 3. Just pull the x out behind it. So I took that numerator and gave it a denominator of a 3. There was a plus in the problem, so now I'm doing this back term, 9 divided by 3, and I just get 3. So I had this equation that didn't start off with y equals, but I rearranged it and to make it go y equals. So here is my m number. There's my x, and here's my b number. And this paper was just asking for the slope. So I'm going to answer that the slope, or the m, is a negative 2/3. Okay, on number 26, make sure you're taking good notes. I need to find the slope of this equation, and I cannot look at and say that it's this 5 right now because it has to go in this order for me to easily be able to see the slope. So I'm going to write my goal right above where my y is, and my equal lines up. I do not want these x's to be on this side. They need to be behind the equal sign. So I want to move this whole term. It is a positive, so I'm going to give it a minus 5x on both sides of the equation. The positive and negative cancel, so 2y equals, I need my x term to go first for slope-intercept form. So negative 5x, there was already a 6 over here and it was positive, so I'm going to push it to the back. So now my x term does line up with the goal that I want to have. But in my goal it just says y, it doesn't say 2y. So I have to ask myself, what would make this 2 get away from the y? So I see that they are multiplying, so I need to divide both sides of the equation by 2. So these will cancel. 2 divided by 2 is just 1. Y equals, I have to break this up into different parts because I had this part divided by 2 and I have that back part divided by 2. So I'm going to take that top number, negative 5, I'm putting it over 2, pull the variable to the back of it. They had a plus, and now I'm doing 6 divided by 2, just leaves me with 3. And I cannot reduce this number anymore, so I'm leaving that as a reduced fraction. This paper was only asking for the slope, so in an equation, since mine now does look like my goal, I can easily see that the slope number is the coefficient on the x, so negative 5 over 2. Okay, put this paper in the notes section of your binder.